faster, more stretched out hill at Ballinalacken near Fanor in County Clare is where the Galway Motor Club hosted round 2 of the Naylor Engineering National Hillclimb and Sprint Championship 2017. Already we seem to have a championship battle on our hands, with this venue looking more like it would suit defending champion Joe Courtney, with more than a 2-second lead after run 1 over round 1 winner Robert Dwan. Rob reflected on his first win in the new car. So you've come from the amazing Falcon Mini, which is a car that was capable of strong overall results as well. Yeah. You've adapted to rear-wheel drive, the engine in the back, everything. That's a huge transition.
It is a huge learning curve, I have to say, and there's an awful lot to get used to. We're not too bad with the rear-wheel drive because we've go-karts and we know how to steer them. But the main thing was getting confidence in the aero, getting the wings, well, just understanding how the wings work better, and just getting the confidence to push and push that you will get around the corner. It just works. I can't take all the credit for this fantastic build. I mean, Gerard Owen and Pat Roach have put in some serious amount of work, and thanks to Steve Owen as well for all the bits and pieces.
And tell us about the car. It's an OMS. What engine have you got in it?
It's an OMS 25 with a 1400 Suzuki Hayabusa, Pat Roach's old engine. And we said we wouldn't go too mental at the start with power-wise, and we thought the Hayabusa was the way to go because it would be grand for learning the car, and we thought we'd manage it. Now, I've always been thrown in at the deep end by himself. I managed to swim, but you know what? I think we swam yesterday.
Also debuting a new car was former champion Paul O'Connell with a Norma N20B. Paul O'Connell, 3 times former National Hill Climb and Sprint champion. Trying something different. You've brought something new to Ireland, haven't you?
That's right, Zenon, yes. So we've done the French Hill Climb for a couple of years, and we're quite impressed with these Norma racing cars over there. So when the opportunity came to have a look at one and pick one up last year, we took it and bought this lovely little Norma. And
what kind of engine does a Norma have?
This particular Norma has a Honda K20 2-litre engine in it. This would be sort of the standard spec for most of the hill climb cars in France. There are faster versions of these cars with 4-litre V8s and 3-litre straight 6 engines, would you believe, also.
And what kind of power would you have in this one?
I think we've about 250, 260 horsepower that direction at the moment.
So it's actually modest in comparison to what's starting to turn up on Irish hills, isn't it?
Just like myself, it's extremely modest.
In comparison to your own car from before, like you had the Pillbeam and you had the Delta, the T79. Where would you rate this car in comparison in terms of speed?
Well, the Delta was a fabulous car in its day. Won me 3 championships, but things have moved on hugely since 07, 08 and 09. The arrival of the likes of Joe Courtney, Sylvie Mullins, Rob Dwan today just shows you the pace is just ferocious. That Delta would be absolutely nowhere here today. The Pillbeam was undoubtedly the faster car, was about 2.5 seconds a mile faster. The 2.8-litre Hart engine, fabulous car. But again, a single-seater, and I suppose with advancing age and a small family, I decided to retire into something a little more gentlemanly.
So, it's a car that offers a little bit more safety than an open-wheeled car, but it has the potential for the speed as well, doesn't it? 4th overall at the moment.
Yeah, not bad for a guy who hasn't driven in 2 years, anything in 2 years.
Yeah, so, you've had quite a few practice runs.
Practice runs, all right, no timed runs. So when I got the first timed run at the top of the hill, I was just delighted. I was just, it's back to, it makes all the heartache of the last couple of years worthwhile. All the late nights in the garage, all the slogging and all the rest of the stress and hassle that comes with it. It's part of the hill climb story. You get a car, you try and make it as quick as you can and get out and compete with these bunch of lunatics here and see where you shake up at the end of the day.
Paul was just over 1/10 of a second behind Rory Stevens' Radical SR8, which boasts another 200 brake horsepower. Watch this space. Chris Houston, enjoying his second day down south, was 5th overall in his OMS. John Donnelly bettered his round 1 result with 6th overall and 3rd in Super Single Seater Class 6. Billy White, in just his second day on the hills with the Formula Renault, overcame clutch slipping issues to claim 7th in the top 10 with just one time on the board, as double drive Gary Egan was having a very bad day with 2 offs. Russell Stanworth took 3rd in Libre Class 7 with the Opel Lotus. Gary Cunningham screamed to 9th and 2nd in Sports Car Class 3C, which O'Connell won. Ed Synan represented the rally cars and saloons well, reaching the top 10 and winning the Unlimited Rally Class 10. In its 2nd official year, Class 1B is for Cento Challenge cars, limited to a certain specification to level the playing field. There were 9 cars competing in this category over the weekend. Rob Fenlon was perfecting the braking technique in his at the upper end of the hill. Sylvia Walsh made her Hillclimb debut the previous day at Corkscrew. Brian Kerwin and Alan Tully enjoyed a very close battle on Ballinalacken, just 900ths apart on run 1. It was the second run that tipped the result in favour of Tully. Third was Danny Hurley after his win in Corkscrew. The challenge enjoys different winners from round to round. The contest for first place was very exciting. 2015 Saloon Championship winner Aina Carroll is up for the challenge this year. He led the field on run 1, but Damien Walsh, a long-time supporter of the class, took the lead on run 2 and made sure of it on run 3. Could this be Walsh's year? Peter Cummins won 3 litre Rally Class 9, but wasn't quite the fastest Darien. That went to Seamus Morris, who just missed out on a top 10 finish in his GTR version. Ben O'Brien was really enjoying Dennis Hogan's car at the weekend and took another Ultimate Saloon Class win. Catherine Donnelly was the quickest woman on the hill and took 5th in Class 6 from Gary Egan. Dara Fay continued to embarrass some of the much bigger horsepower saloons with another fine win in the Bantam Class 1A. Brian Ledwith is always exciting to watch, and he claimed 1600 Saloon Class 2 with the Corolla. Always in a rush was John Kennedy in his Dax, supreme in Class 3A. Mossy Gannon took the class win in 2 litre Rally Class 8 after being runner-up at Corkscrew in his Mark II Escort. John Whitley improved his times by nearly 5 seconds over the 3 runs, taking the honours in the Formula Ford and V class. Owen Gannon was thrilled to take the fastest time on scratch in the historic class on only his 2nd outing, just ahead of Mick O'Shea's MGB, but more importantly, beating his dad PJ, a former clerk of the course in the area. Talking of generational shift, overall, Rob Dwan had stormed the keep and closed significantly on Joe Courtney on run 2. It was about 2-second margin after run 1, but you've really pulled it out now. You're down to 0.47, I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah, we just like that, just getting a bit more confidence over the bumps, figuring out what it's going to do, how it's going to skip and hop, and just how the whole thing behaves. You know, it is a single seater and it is a very bumpy road, so you got to figure out what it's going to do. But we're just getting there, just push it a small bit more on the brakes and not lifting for stuff that we were lifting for earlier in the first run. But 3rd run to come now, so you never know. Hopefully it'll be as good as the 3rd run yesterday.
Joe Courtney, you're just about to go out for probably the final run there, run 3. You've got this young pup breathing down your neck at the moment. It's only 0.47 of a second in it, isn't it?
Yeah, Robert's flying it, fair play to him. New car, first hill climb in it yesterday and won the event, so hats off to him. I'm delighted for him really, you know, because he's obviously he's put in a lot of work, you know, they've built the car themselves, and you know, he's a young guy with plenty of talent, so putting me under pressure again today now a bit, yeah, but we'll see now after this run. I know there's more time in my own car, you know, it's probably a bit rusty after the winter too, and just getting back into the hang of it again, but car mechanically is great. Did a few tweaks there again now. It's tricky enough hill suspension wise, you know, quite pattery there and kind of halfway up, so just trying to adjust the suspension to best suit that, you know, because it can throw you off and you can lose a bit of speed through there. So we've just softened off the front dampers a little bit there now. See, hopefully that will help that. But yeah, looking forward to this run now and see how it goes. All to play for yet, I suppose. Yeah.
And it was. Rob went nearly a further 7/10 faster, but Joe, who sometimes seems to have pace in reserve, pulled out another 1.5 seconds on his best for the win. It's game on for 2017.